Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've created another tutorial for you guys. Today's look is this really easy, simple cat eye using all shadows from the MAC Warm Neutrals palette. It's really easy to achieve, so if you want to know how to get this look, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm just whizzing through my foundation routine really quickly. I'm taking my MAC Studio Fix foundation in the shade NC35. Yes, it is darker than my skin tone, but it does match the rest of my body. I just don't flake down my face, just clearing that up. And I'm taking this on a Zoeva foundation brush. I will link the number down below, I'm not too sure which one it is. And I'm just blending that in circular motions all over my face. I'm then going to take my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC20 and I'm just placing this under my eyes, down the centre of my nose, my chin and my forehead, but my camera cut out some of it so you only get to see one eye. But I did do the rest of my face and I just blended that out with my Real Technique sponge. And then I'm placing my Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. This is the liquid one. I'm just placing that on the top of my cheekbones and blending it out with my ring finger. And to set everywhere I place that concealer, I'm just taking my Ben Nye Banana Powder on my Real Technique sponge and just placing that over the top of those concealed areas. I'm packing it on quite heavily because I'm just going to leave it there to bake for a minute. So I'm just placing that on the centre of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin, underneath my eyes, and using it to carve out the hollows of my cheekbones. And then when you finish listening to Beyonce and baking, you can just go ahead and dust that off. I'm just using an old brush. I don't think it even has a name, but it does the job. I'm just brushing that powder off, getting rid of it. To warm up my face and bring some colour back into it, I'm just going to take my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Dark on a MAC, I can't remember the number of this brush, but I will link it down below. And I'm just placing this around the outside areas of my face, so the forehead, around the sort of hollows of the cheekbone area. I'm not contouring. You can see that I'm not being precise with this brush. I'm getting right in the cheekbone and chiseling it out. I'm just going all over, dusting it all around, just to give me a bit more warmth and a bit more of a tanned look, because I'm looking quite pasty. So yeah, just placing that all around the outside of my face, along my jawline, down my neck. And then I will go in with another MAC brush, again I'll leave the number down below, and my MAC Sculpting Powder in the shade Sculpt, and I'm just placing that more precisely in the hollows of my cheekbones to contour. Same thing on the other side of my face, and I'm being really careful with this because this MAC sculpting powder can really easily turn muddy, so you want to take a tiny little bit at a time. And then I'm taking my MAC blush in the shade Peaches and just placing this on the apples of my cheeks with my with my Bordelium Tools tapered brush. And then I'm just going to buff that all out with my Tarte powder brush just to make sure there's no harsh lines. So I just quickly filled in my brows and primed my eyelids off camera, and now I'm taking some sellotape and just placing this down from the outside corner of my eye underneath the lower lash line going up towards the tail of my brow. This is what's going to create that really feline cap shaped eye and give us a nice sort of sharp straight edge on the outside of our eye. So first I'm taking the shade Saddle from the MAC Warm Neutrals palette, and I'm just placing this in my crease with my MAC 224 brush. Once you've got that sellotape down, you really don't have to worry about being too precise or worrying that you'll bring the eyeshadow out too far or down too low on the outside, because the sellotape's just going to stop it. So once you take that sellotape off, you're going to have a nice sharp line. So don't worry, don't be too precise, just blend it back and forth, back and forth. Next I'm going to take the shade Dark Brew from the same palette, and I'm taking that on a Zoeva 228 brush. This brush is a bit different from the 224 because it's tapered as it gets to the end, so it comes to a point. That's going to give us that precise placement of product. So once you put it in the crease, it's not going to blend it out too far. It's just going to blend it out nice and softly, but not as blended out as the 224 would from MAC. Now I'm taking the shade Dance in the Dark, which is a very dark brown, almost black but not black, and I'm just taking that on the MAC 221 brush, which is even more tapered and smaller for more precision, because I want it to be right in that outer corner like a V shape. So I'm just placing that on the outer corner, and then once I've got it where I want it to be, I'll start to blend it out. And you'll notice that I do go back and forth with brushes. Like here, I'm taking the MAC 224 brush just to soften those edges, because I don't want a harsh black line. I want all the colours to fade into one another. So you want the dark brown to fade into the warm red brown, and then you want that red brown to fade into the initial saddle colour, almost like a rainbow. So you want it to fade without seeing the harsh lines of the three different colours. I hope that makes sense. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Amber Lights from the same palette, which is just a true gold, and I'm placing that on the center of the lid, basically on the areas where we haven't placed any other product. And I'm using a Zoeva shader brush to do this. I will link the number down below. Now I'm going to take the shade Lemon Tart from the same palette and placing that on the inner corner of my eye with a pencil brush. This is just a really yellow gold highlighting sort of colour. It's so highlighty. I don't know if that's a word, but it's really highlighty. If you find winged eyeliner really tricky, it would help if you left the sellotape down to do this part like I'm doing. I prefer to do it without the sellotape, but I wanted to show you guys how easy it is with the sellotape. So you've basically got to do a straight line going from the sellotape to the corner of your eye, and then how satisfying is that? Just peeling that off and revealing that nice crisp line. It's so easy with the sellotape, so give it a try if you find wing liner difficult. I did also create a point on the inner corner of my eye, you can see that there, but my camera cut out, so sorry about that. So I'm just dusting some Saddle, the original shade that we used on our eyes. I'm dusting that under my lower lash line with a Zoeva brush. I'll link it down below. And then I'm just taking a dark brown eyeliner, this one's from Mally, and I'm just placing that in the waterline and then connecting the winged eyeliner that you can see there's a gap. I'm just connecting that to the lower lash line and then blending it all out, making it nice and smoky. I'm then just going in with a coat of mascara to the top and the bottom lashes and applying my false lashes. Again, I'm sorry, these are the Cocoa lashes in the style Foxy. I love them. I've worn them in every tutorial so far. I'm sorry.
Where's my sharpener?
So after spending 10 minutes looking for my sharpener, I finally found it. And I'm taking my lip pencil in the shade Soar from MAC. And I'm just using this to go over my whole entire lip. This is the only product I'm using for my lips today because it's just so nice on its own. And that is the finished look. I really hope you guys like this tutorial. Again, I really enjoyed making it. I really enjoy making these tutorials. So please give it a thumbs up if you did like it and subscribe if you want to see more. Leave any comments down below. If you have any specific videos you'd like me to film, let me know and I will try my best to film them for you. Thanks for watching. Bye!